Test of microphones. Mic number 2.
Okay, hello, members of ESN Lithuania. We will like to welcome you to NA 61. Our National Assembly is happening right now in Palanga, where we all sit in a nice youth center. And right now, officially, the National Assembly should be opened by President. Since Julia is not here, Stefan will step in as a National Board Member Events Manager and say a few opening words to you.
Perfect. In case you wonder why we're talking to that weird microphone, it's for our live stream. But yeah, from my side, a very warm welcome. I hope you had a good path here. Julia has uni stuff going on, unforeseen circumstances, unfortunately, so she will come a bit late. Yes, from our side, we hope you will enjoy this. This is a very special place that we chose for the last NA because we are getting experimental. The weather was not playing with us, but you can still pray, and maybe there will be a bit of sun. Yes, besides that, I wish you a very fun and nice NA. Enjoy the beach if you can. And with those kind words, I would like to officially open our NA 61 on behalf of Julia and the National Board.
Thank you, Stefan. Right now we are moving to the next part of the agenda. Whether to start by the National Board, now we will start with our organizing committee. So I'm welcoming Migla, the head of the OC for NA in Palanga, NA 61.
Hello, you guys. I hope I will speak quickly, but I have a lot of things to say. So, first of all, hello to you all from the OC. We're not all of us here, but as the day goes by, we will all come together, and if we can move the slides. Yeah, this is all of us here. You can recognize the organizing committee and volunteers by different colored accreditations. You have pale pink, we have hot pink. Yeah, our beautiful volunteers are here as well. Now, a few general rules for the venue. Everything is written in the posters right behind you. You can see it in Lithuanian and in English. So please read them and be respectful, as this is not our university venue, in which you would still need to be respectful and clean up after yourself, but it's just another organization, so just let's be very extremely cautious of what we're doing. Also, please do not touch the paintings. They are original pieces, so any damage to them would really harm them. Also, as yeah, so as I was trying to move towards the next part, as this is a center for volunteering and young people, there might be people roaming around. You will see people on the stairs, so don't mind them. Our main part is here in front of you. People might just pass by here. We have a sponsorship from energy drinks, but there is a rule that energy drinks are strictly prohibited inside the venue. So if you're drinking them, please be outside and do not bring them inside. We will have some cups. Please write your name on them as in other NAs and keep them for sustainability reasons. If you have reusable cups, use your own. And lastly, we will have sugar cubes. You have probably already signed signed your letters, which will be probably hung also in the back. So just keep in mind that throughout the weekend you can write some nice words to each other. Thank you. Yeah, and also, I forgot to mention, but yes, for this NA, we have a safety team of two perfectly qualified doctors. Me and Stefan, but please be also very cautious. Don't drink and dive into the sea. I don't want to run after you in the beach and save you from drowning. So please be responsible. And yeah, if you need something, there's our both numbers on the back of your accreditations. You can call us there.
Okay, now we are moving to welcome from our chairing team. Few words, you've received enough of the information from us in the recent days. So, click. As you can see, as we are sitting here in front of you, I'm Dominika Żukowska. I'm coming from ESN Poland. I'm the main chair during this National Assembly. On my left-hand side, there's our vice chair, Fanny Dimak. She will be helping us with all of the organizational document stuff. And in front of me right now, our technical chair, Timothy Kirilenko, your boy from ESN Lithuania, that is helping us with all of the technical stuff. Click once more, please. Yeah. And just to specify what we will be doing here, me as the main chair will be leading this NA, as you can already see. I will be also moderating your discussions, so asking you for your part for the question rounds, maybe answering your reactions after the gestures that we'll be talking about in the next part of Rule of the Game. And I'm also the main point of contact. So whatever happens during the plenaries, you have some suggestions, you have something to say, you can come to me also privately during the breaks or in between to consult, or you can just use your right to show reactions or, for example, reactions or ask procedures question. Fanny will be taking the minutes, helping with following procedures, and Tim is taking care of all of the stream, mics, cameras, anything is not working, anything you will take, you will have from your sections any information that something is not working, you should also report back to us and Tim will be fixing it. Click. And right now, the first and very important part of our NA, we need to check the quorum. As we have 9 sections in ESN Lithuania and 8 send the vote delegations, so our quorum will be 5 of the sections. Can you pull out the voting sheet, please? And right now I will be reading out loud the sections, one by one. We have a question to you as a quorum, since I was informed that this is how you do the quorum checks. So, our first question for the first quorum check will be, you have just entered the villa in Love Island. What is your opening move? You confidently say, I've got a text. You casually say hi and analyze the vibes, or you stay out and just observe the drama. So, let's start with the roll call. Something happened? Okay. Yeah, I just copied it, so probably it changed. But yeah, first one is 1, second one is 2, and third one is 3. Obviously, you can also say, like, out loud the answer that you're choosing, obviously. So, let's start. ESN ISM. Okay. And please state also your full name and surname, okay? Right. Next section. ESN KK. Not present. Oh, maybe. Okay. Not present. ESN KTU. Okay. ESN LSMU. They're there, right? Hi, we are there. I'm here. Okay, organizational difficulties. We will be waiting for one of the delegates. No, please, guys, we have no time. ESN LSMEU, please state your name and surname and the answer to the following question. Mhm. Checks out. Yes. Do you confidently say, I've got a text, casually say hi and analyze the vibes, or stay out and just observe the drama in the villa? Okay, thank you. ESN LSAU didn't send the vote delegation, so they're out of the quorum for this NA. ESN AMRU. Okay, thank you. ESN Vilnius Tech. Okay. ESN VMU. Mhm. Okay, so the third one. And ESN Vilnius University. Okay, so we have 7. Yes, 7 out of 8 and out of 9 because one doesn't have the right to vote on this NA. So we reached the quorum. And let's move with the rules of the game, which will be presented by the chairing team, like me, my chair. So who runs this National Assembly? You already know. Chairing team, me, Fanny, and not secretary, technical. Oh, sorry, I will correct it later. Technical chair team. Scrutinizers. These are the people that ensure that all of the votings are done in accordance with our statutes and standing orders. And soon we will be also choosing our scrutinizers. And what are your rights during this National Assembly? The right to speak, have everyone present in the room. The right to vote, approved sections, so all of the 8 sections that are here, that send the vote delegations, have the right to vote, and the right to propose ESN Lithuania members. So anybody out of you, except of international guests or some guests from, for example, Youth Council, somebody will be here, wouldn't be able to actually propose anything. About the speakers list. How to ask questions. This is very important matter because we will be saving time, we will be very precise, and you'll be getting the answers that you actually want. So, be short and ask relevant questions. Include your full question, name, surname, and section into Slido because this will really help Hanni with our minutes. Speak only when it is your turn. So CT, me, the main chair, probably will tell you that the next person is speaking, read out your name, and then you can speak out your question. Before speaking, also state your full name and section. So you start from Dominika Żukowska, ESN Poland, and then I am asking my question that was in Slido. And do not repeat what was already been said. So if it happens that you signed up after somebody and somebody will actually ask your question, just say, I'm covered. We'll be very grateful for that. And right now, about the gestures. For procedural question, we are raising one finger, like that. Very high, because we are sitting in one level, so I cannot really see if you're doing something like that. So you raised one finger to ask anything about the procedures, questions, comments, how we are proceeding with the plenaries. For reaction, we raise 2 fingers, like that, it doesn't matter for me, actually. And reactions must be relevant to the original question comment. So for example, somebody asks questions, the speakers here is answering, and you have a reaction to it. It cannot be another question. You just have a reaction, and then we will proceed further with the question round. And then we have silence. So we already used it in the beginning. We raise 2 hands because somebody is maybe being too loud, maybe you don't hear what is happening. And if you see somebody raising both of these hands next to you, please do the same and stay silent. So then we will be proceeding very vastly through our plenaries. And about the appreciation, I didn't find the meme. or GIF about it, but we do the light bulbs like that to show the silent appreciation. So during the presentation, during the question round, when somebody says something relevant to you, something you agree with, or something you support, instead of clapping or saying something loud, you can do that. And the speakers in the front that are answering questions or saying anything will basically feel much better at this point to see the relevance in the room. Okay, and now we need to move to voting round 1. Because we need our scrutinizers, we need some approvals, and okay, I will show it maybe. Do you need to show the voting round 1? Okay. So basically, maybe I will do it bigger. Right now we need scrutinizers. It should be somebody in the room that is not a vote delegate, and preferably not from the section that have candidates during this NA, because people that will be later scrutinizing the ballots for candidates for votings may be not objective enough. So, do we have at least 2 people here in the room that would like to be scrutinizers? Okay. Can you state your name, surname, and section? Okay. And another one? Yeah, Vilnius. Yeah. Yes. Great. Anton Klimchuk. Could you both please come to the front, because right now we'll be still voting. So we will. You are Vilnius Tech, right? Ah, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear because you need to speak up to me. So sorry. We need another person. This is not hard. You will be just checking if we are actually putting the votes right in the right way, because we need at least two. You're the vote delegate. Yeah. So we. If you don't really need that person at this point, yeah, but they have to be here for all of the votings, also when we change the agenda. We will explain everything. It will not be hard. I swear. Because we need at least 2 people. Okay? Can you both come to the front, Anton? Because we need to put your... You are Vilnius. Stand there. Okay, so right now we will vote on our scrutinizers. Finally, we chose 2. So, do you approve Anton Klimchuk, ESN Vilnius University, and Arian Ariania, ESN LSMU, as scrutinizers for 61st National Assembly? And we will proceed with a public vote. And obviously, ESN LSU will not be mentioned as they don't have the right to vote. ESN ISM. Just please say yes, no, or abstain. These are the only. Thank you. ESN KK. Not present. Yes, exactly. Sorry. ESN KTU. Yes. ESN LSMU. Yes. ESN MRU Vilnius, ESN Vilnius Tech, ESN VMU, ESN Vilnius University. Thank you. So we have approved our scrutineers. Let's start for Anton and Aryan. Now you stay here and you check if the vote delegate from each section, which should be supposed to be answering, is answering, and if we mark, well, okay. The next question to our National Assembly, you need to also approve the chairing team because this is proposed by the National Board, but we need to, for formalities, we need to approve it. Do you approve Dominika Żukowska, Fanny Dimak, and Timothy Kirilenko as chairing team for the 61st National Assembly? And again, with the roll call. ESN ISM, yes. ESN KTU, yes. ESN LSMU, yes. ESN MRU Vilnius, yes. ESN Vilnius Tech, yes. ESN VMU, yes. ESN Vilnius University. Thank you for this approval. And right now, as we are already approved the chairing team, we will just proceed with the plenary agenda that we have. And we have sent to you agenda. I hope everybody of you at least looked at it. There was just one missing point from my side. I put the quorum check before the coffee break, then not the afterwards. So this is the only part that was amended since the moment that you got it the first time. It's marked in orange in the agenda, and the rest stays for now the same. And the question is, do you approve amended agenda of the 61st National Assembly? Again, this is a simple majority, and we do a roll call with the section. ESN ISM, yes. ESN KTU, yes. ESN LSMU, yes. ESN MRU Vilnius. Yes. I want to see university, sorry. ESN Vilnius Tech, ESN VMU, yes. ESN Vilnius University. Thank you. The agenda got approved. And the last question in this voting round is, do you approve to include into 61st National Assembly, wait, all of the documents which were sent after the statutory deadline? So in your statutes and standing orders, it is said that 7 days before the NA, you should receive like the complex pack of all of the documents. Since you have a hard time right now due to exams and all of the other stuff going on within the life of the National Board, some of the full versions of the documents that were translated to Lithuanian arrived past the deadline. But in order to proceed with the National Assembly and all of the presentations, we need to approve it. This is basically just a formality because the proposals arrived within the deadline that it should be kept. So right now we'll proceed with public vote, a simple majority again, roll call. Do you approve to include into 61st National Assembly all of the documents which were sent after the statutory deadline? ESN ISM, yes. ESN KTU, yes. ESN LSMU, yes. ESN MRU Vilnius, sorry. ESN Vilnius Tech, yes. ESN VMU, yes. ESN Vilnius University. All of them, yes. Okay. Wait, I will add them. Okay, so we have finalized also our voting chart. Thank you for all of the votes casted, and we will proceed with agenda further. So, wait. Right now we have a presentation of all of the internal documents that you approved with the full versions and the ones that were sent within the deadline. It will be presented by Stefan, our events manager, and Ugne, our treasurer. And afterwards, there will be Q&A. So first, all of the documents will be presented by them within the slides, and then we will proceed with the longer Q&A. You can ask whatever you wish. Please, come to the front.
I don't see the live stream on the YouTube. What? Where's the live stream though? Because Okay, we can start, I guess. So, hello everyone. So, as you saw on the, well, when you receive the documents, that we will have a lot of internal document changes this time around. And basically, on there are changes on almost all of the documents that we have in ESN Lithuania: Code of Conduct, Events Policy Paper, statutes, standing orders, also minimal section requirements. So yeah, so let's go next. So first change, it's a small one, changing National Assembly scrutineers' roles and responsibilities. So as you know, in our standing orders as of right now, there is a written down rule that if it's elective NA, the scrutinizers have to be not from the section that have NB candidates and or national level, or in general national level candidates, which is including audit commission and also the national coordinators. And also it includes saying that scrutineers also has to be not a vote delegate. So next slide. So what we added is that shall participant must not have voting rights as a scrutineer, and also scrutinizer shall be participating in the National Assembly until the president officially closes it. That means we adding the rule that basically we have to elect scrutineers that will be present the whole NA, to not to re-elect them in the middle of the National Assembly, just to have a clearer structure, basically. So yeah, that's that. Okay, this is a bigger one. Changes to the Audit Commission structure and its roles. So as of right now in ESN Lithuania, we have 3 members in an Audit Commission. One of them is chairman of the commission, and then there are 2 members. However, in the ESN International and other NOs, we have those 2 members that are not the chairman, of course, are procedural auditor and the financial auditor. So that is what is added to the next slide, please, to the changes of the documents. So we changed those both members to the financial auditor and procedural auditor. The thing is that the roles of the audit commission haven't changed, because everything was before that. The wording was that audit commission on their first meeting, they redirect who does what. So who does arbitration, who does the financial auditing, who does the procedural auditing. Now it's more clear who is what. And yeah, and if someone, let's say, wants to go for the audit board and audit commission, sorry, and they don't want some roles that might some other roles have, they would have this option if this gets voted on. So yeah, it's just general, the internal what the audit commission should do, and each role what they should do as well. So yeah, yeah, and that's also other more for the procedural auditor and the financial auditor. So yeah. And the last internal document change that I will be presenting, it's regarding minimal section requirements. So next slide. Yes, so it's a small one. Before, actually, it's regarding our website. So this internal document change is coming from our IT manager, who is not right now, but she's in Switzerland, ZNA. So next slide, please. It doesn't change. Okay. So in Article 2 of the minimal section requirements, it states that under operations and visibility, regular updates to the section's website every month during the semester. It's regarding the office hours probably and the contacts, because sometimes you have extraordinary elections and the boards change, the coordinators change, and we need students, and we as a national board also need full contacts of yours. Before that, in the minimal section requirements, we had this rule that basically if you do not fulfill at least 50% of the minimal section requirements, basically the section doesn't have a website. So as of right now, I think all of the sections except ESN LSU have websites. So yeah. And now I'm giving the mic to Stefan.
Thank you. Okay, so from my side there will be a lot of things. I will go with you piece by piece so that you understand why we want this, why this is good for you or not. Just for you to understand what we do afterwards, because we didn't say it yet. So afterwards you have time to ask questions. Then you can talk to us in private, you can talk in your groups, in your wherever you want to talk, right? Tomorrow we have another question round because there's a lot of stuff, right? So whatever like you forget today, you can still ask tomorrow. And yeah. Let's go to the first thing. It's procedure to remove the NB. Right now there is no standardized procedure to remove us, even if you hate us. Tomorrow we have what we would like to have is a standardized way of removing us, not because we hate us, but basically because there were potentially cases also in the past where maybe sections were not happy with national board members, or where even the national board was not happy with national board members. And for that in the future, to avoid that all the work from not working members is separated and the national board does not work anymore. Therefore we have this procedure, which would basically be if the national board sees that within the national board the work is not done, it does not work eventually, then we can propose to you to remove the person from national board, but the majority of the national board has to propose that. So that's the first thing. The next slide is our revised code of conduct. I hope you know we have a code of conduct that we link at our events that basically gives us the power to remove you, for example, from here if you do shit. But our revised code of conduct, it was done like long time ago. It's quite old. It is not very detailed. I hope you know. And our new revised code of conduct has two new features, which is the first one. It has a standard of ESN International, so literally everything is written down. It's very a lot of letters. And the second thing is that we included one part of the code of conduct, which is you as local sections can link the code of conduct. It's officially written if you don't want to have your own code of conduct, which is good for you because you don't have to write one. It's for you just so that you know, legally you are not safe if your participants don't mark this or don't sign this, because whenever something happens at your events and nobody signed the code of conduct, if you don't have any legal safety. Because you cannot remove the person, you're basically private organizers. So for your safety or your convenience, you can link this, but you can also have your own one, right? This is totally up to you. Because whenever something happens at your events, okay, updated section duties. This gets a bit more complicated. So this is on top. It's actually quite basic, and it should already be there. The first thing is you should have documents. That's it. Because you know you are an organization and we have to know what you do, how do you elect people, what's your procedures, and it's also good for yourself because you should know also for the future generations how do we determine what we do, right? So this is one thing that's very basic. You should have documents. And the second thing I added 3.5.7. whatever is that you have to link the code of conduct. This is not because we want you to do extra work or whatsoever. It's literally just linking one document in the event things, but it's for you because if something happens at your events and you cannot kick people out, or in the end someone files a lawsuit or someone dies or whatever, there's a lot of things that can happen, then you have no legal safety because you never had any safety in your documents. That's the thing. The next one, but it's for you. National board support restructuring. Here it gets a bit more complicated. We had the second consultation at last NA and we marked your questions and so on, and we tried to figure what is your worries and so on. I have to open my laptop because otherwise I will not remember myself everything. National board restructuring. Basically, right now we have two national board support structures, which is social impact coordinator and partnership coordinator, right? Now, the issue with that is it takes a voting. Like we get voted or elected at the NB, it also takes a voting for the support structures. And now the big question arises why? Because a national board support structure is exactly what it says. It is supporting national board, so it does not technically have a lot to do with you. Of course, practically yes, but it's for us to fulfill our tasks. And for example, let's say you vote for, I don't know, your parliament whatsoever. You vote for the parliament, the candidates whatsoever. You do not vote for the secretary and the interns of the parliament, right? Because this is a huge amount of voting procedure that is very unnecessary. So this is the first thing. why do we have this? And now let's go to the proposed new procedure, which by the way is the same procedure in ESN International. So we are adapting the procedure from ESN International. We put this in our own AO, but like of course with our background. The new procedure would be, we basically check, okay, what support do we need? This can be, for example, okay, we need someone that is very good at partnerships for sure, 100%. We need, I don't know, we need someone to help you with legalization, maybe a legalization coordinator, because we see, okay, you have struggles, you don't know what to do, maybe we have a legal expert, right? This can be, I don't know, for example, we see, okay, there's problems in CONAS sections, let's do a CONAS coordinator. There's a lot of things that this allows us. It allows us to open calls. So what happens afterwards? We have to write exactly what the position would be, what's the task, blah, 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 blah. After needs analysis, the national board has to do that within the first month of the mandate, which is July. If afterwards there's still problems coming up, the national board can open it again, right? What happens afterwards? They open the call. You can read all descriptions like it's right now, and you have 2 weeks to apply. Afterwards, we publish basically the candidates, and you as sections get asked, do you like the candidates? And you can give your opinion about the candidates. What happens afterwards? This is what we do also in international. So you can say, oh no, I know this person personally, it does not work, it's a horrible person, right? Or you can say, wow, that person is great, we want that person, right? And then the national board chooses based on the application, so whatever the person wrote down, plus what you said. So those 2 things are put into consideration, and the national board basically chooses the people. And now you still have power afterwards, because if you see, okay, but that person is really not doing shit, and then you can propose to the national board to remove the person again. So there's 2 powers. You can first give your opinion, and the person can also be removed up on your request. This gives us a lot of pros. We can be flexible. We can call out for positions. For example, if there is funding whatsoever, we can have an extra position. We can adapt to your needs whenever you need help. We can give a position. There's 2 powers. The people applying, they do not have to go through this whole procedure with, I have to do an application form, and then the presentation, and I have to be at NA, and so on and so on. So this allows us for a more sustainable structure that is basically supporting your needs. Good. Next one. Next one. Perfect. Now, NA system change. I will tell you what is the problem with our NA. The problem with our NA is multiple. The main problem right now is that everything is delayed. Everything is late. You see our registrations are late, the calls for our chairing team are late, everything is late. And there is a reason for that. And the reason is, we have written down in our standing orders, okay, everyone pays from the sections 25 euros, then we call for the OC, OC has to apply all the things, then the NA has to vote, blah, 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 blah. So the procedure takes a huge amount of time, and also the reality is that the sections do not have the funds to do an NA. Because to do an NA right now, you have to pay. Why the fuck would you pay to organize something, right? It does not make any sense. So, the new procedure would solve it in the following way. A chronological order of OCs, which includes the sections. This does not include single sections, but you together after consultation. So basically, the next NB, mainly Ilya, will have a call with you. You will sit together and you will talk, okay, for example, I can organize it alone, I cannot organize it alone, I want to organize, for example, CONAS, NA, whatever, whatever. Then the national board writes down a list of you as sections, as organizers, in a chronological order, right? So, in the ideal world, you already know a year before you even organize the NA that you will organize the NA. So you have the whole year to prepare. That includes finding funding, annoying your IRO, getting deals, getting whatever. So you have less issues with the money, let's say. That's the first thing. Now, of course, something can happen, and we know that. There might be whatever, people, I don't know what can happen to people. For that case, there is a system. We have a declaration of inability that can be written to national board via official email stating the reasons. So if you as a section see, okay, we cannot organize an NA, we are not able to organize an NA, you can declare that, and the NB can excuse you, okay? That's the thing. So, Another thing is the price. It will be basically deleted, and the same with also some participants, because in the reality, and we have to just acknowledge that in the reality, it does not make sense to put a price on a product that is every time similar or same or different or whatever, right? We'd never know. The issue is, if you put a price on every museum in the world, it does not make sense, because you would not pay 25 for, I don't know, Little Village Museum, but of course you would pay 25 for big New York Museum. And we have to acknowledge that, for example, in Autumn NA, you know, it's nice, we have we have one night, we have a little chit chat, blah blah, it takes small time, everything is nice. That's less pricey than, for example, I don't know, spring or summer, where we have the gala or we have candidates, it takes more time, blah blah. So just every NA has a different price, and putting a price on that product that is always the same does not make sense. So, new procedure would be the OC analyzes, because you have a whole year for that. Where can we take money? What is the problem? Blah blah. Partners stay the same, and then you propose the price, and the price will be reviewed by the national board. Now that seems to you like, okay, we set the price, blah blah, it's bad. But what you have to see is, it is in the interest of the national board that you are developing and attending DNAs. So of course we will not, or it's not my time anymore, but the national board will not give you a price of, I don't know, 200 euros, right? We also have a max price that's also settled. The max price will be 60 euros for sections. But the 60 euro price, it is not like every NA will be 60 euros, but for example, in the case a small section is organizing, did not have time to find whatever, then that price is a bit higher. 200 euros, right? But I talked to the new national board, and the minimal section requirements will be changed a bit in the following way. Your sections potentially do not have to send the number anymore that you have to send now. And also in the paper, we will not put 5 delegates per section, but this will be deleted. Because what we also have to say is, it does not make sense. Our sections are of different size. It does not make sense to say, okay, you have to send 4 or 5 whatever people, you as well, even though the size of the organization is like that. There's different sizes, right? So this is the main issues with that. How do we become more sustainable? Well, in the following way. You have a long time to plan. You cannot complain about the budget anymore, because the budget is you. To avoid that the sections cannot afford DNA, we have the system that first the NB has to review the price. The second one is, of course, a long time for planning DNA allows for lower prices. Because, you know, right now, the OC starts booking hotels, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 weeks before DNA. Of course, the prices are not low, because there's no rooms anymore, right? So we already lower the prices by a longer time to plan. And we also change middle section requirements long term in consultation with new board, so that you do not have to attend if you cannot afford. Of course, like someone always has to attend, because for the legal reasons. But we will not have that big rule anymore, right? Good. That's the main changes for the National Assembly. What's my next slide? New training concept. Why do we need this? This is an extra paragraph, because right now our training is the following. We have a training event in December. It never happens because we don't find OC, because you don't have the money, or not the capacities, or not the HR, or whatever. So there's no training. That's it. Because where, right? So we have a new training concept, which is built on 3 pillars. Which will be the following. First of all, there's a needs assessment through Vice President, which future will be Ryan. He will basically talk to you, or in whatever way you want to conduct it, what needs you have, what you want to learn, so on and so on. Following that, there can be online calls once per month, which are most likely not mandatory, but for you as sections to attend. Based on your needs. This is not like something, okay, we exchange, blah, blah, we have a little chit-chat, but this is really like for you to understand what is happening in ESN International, or things you want to know. Then there's the national assemblies. Now we have written down the procedure that basically there's needs assessment before national assemblies, and based on that needs assessment you have the workshops, which is something we already did for the last 2 NAs, but it was not written down before. And an extra thing is that the training events will be, well, according to the standing orders, flexible. The EPP will have to be changed later. Ilya is taking care of that, and also our potential future communication manager is highly involved. So there will be good things that can happen, and with that, yeah, US sections just can learn more, and long term we can just change trainings events a bit. A manager is highly involved. Oh, more. Okay. So there will be safety team changes. Good things that can so you already have to have we have to have a safety team at our national events for our legal safety, and also we don't want you to die, right? Most of the time. Good. So the new thing is the problem actually that of course the safety team needs to have certain qualifications according to according to our documents, and what we offer newly is we have a safety team track which will be 2 times per year, which is online or in person. Actually that was done in consultation with ESN ISM because they had some good ideas. Not with you, Martas, with Gia. Yes, and we have written down a procedure what the content must include, how the trainers are basically chosen, and with that you can just have training on how to become safety team, and the safety team will apply for our national events, but you can also choose it for the local. That's it, right? Or is there more slides? Yes.
So now we have the time for our question round. Here's the QR code to Slido. Remember to put your full name, surname, section, and your question. We will give you like 1-2 minutes right now to formulate, and then I will ask again if somebody is still typing. Okay? Again, a reminder from Fanny, please include your name, surname, and your section, please. Uh, yes, we will be running around with the mic.
Rocky.
We have no other option, basically. With next procedural, please hold and say procedural, and then okay? Sure. Thanks. Because then in the end, I don't know if you're talking to us or okay. I can see you're typing, so we still wait a little bit. Is somebody still typing? Okay. somebody still typing? Everybody's done? Okay, let's start. It will still stay open. If anything comes up during the answers, please still type your questions, because we have a lot of time and there's a lot of changes and they're actually important. So please think about your questions. First question from Veronica, ESN VU. No, raise your hand, you will get the mic, and then.
Yes, so
Thank you.
Veronica, ESN University. I want to ask, who will be organizing safety team trainings, and how do you know that person is qualified for doing that? Because it's not an easy training. And how, who will approve the training? Because there must be someone's approval on that. Should I give you the mic now?
Yeah, I will double check the documents so that I don't tell bullshit. So basically, the safety training has to be organized by National Board. It's the responsibility of National Board to give you the information, but also, for future people that help National Board. So that's the first part of the question. The training will be conducted by professional. That's defined. We did not define professional in that context yet. That can be done by the next National Board. The reason why I didn't define it yet is because I didn't want to think about all the people that can do it, because we have a lot of things that have to be in the training, right? There has to be the medical emergencies, the code of conduct, the harassment, nonviolent communication. So the question arises, okay, is it more like medical, is it more psychological? Yes, but the way it's written down is the trainer of the safety team training should be chosen by National Board and should have a professional background towards the topic. The trainer can but don't have to be part of ESN Lithuania or its National Board.
Okay, but will there be also... Sorry.
Yeah. Can
Dominika Jesena Mariu Vilnius. So how do you envision updating the website every month? Because there are different office hours that are chosen like every week. For example, how do you think, what are you thinking about that?
Okay, so the vision of the monthly updates to the website is from Suruchi. So if you want more clear answer, please ask her directly. She will probably gladly answer your questions. But in general, as I said, updating office hours, of course, because right now we are mainly using Instagram for that, Instagram stories. But other things that, for example, back like 5 years ago, for example, ESN Vilnius University, what used to do, we also would post appreciation for our members as well, like post ESNer of the month. Well, this kind of appreciation is lost in the context, I would say, but it would be great to welcome it back. But as I said, if we want more clear answers, it probably has to do to the fact that Satellite 5 is not that well usable, I would say, sometimes, and it would need some update because sometimes it breaks. So yeah, but as I said, please ask Suruchi as well this question.
Yes, so I would like to... Kubrakaya from ESN Tech. Yes, I have it. For the general training that was mentioned, like, how are you going to do it? Is it going to be like spontaneous training that you will be organizing, or who will be the attendees of the training? What is the context of it? Yes.
Yes. So the documents we set are pretty adaptable in a way, and the main reason for that is that the training content is whatever you need. Basically, after the needs assessment of the vice president, which will happen 2 times per year, we will see, or not we, I'm just talking in the name of National Board, the National Future Board will see what is needed in the sections and will organize the content and the trainers according to the needs. For now, because you also asked a bit of time, and I guess you mean physical training, for now our only training is in December, written down in EPP, which now you question yourself maybe, why? And that's also a thing I had in my head, because December is the middle of the year. Why in the middle, not in the beginning? The reason why we leave it a bit undefined for now is because Ilya will later also analyze with you what's the best time for trainings, and then the content is done a bit by Rayan and also the rest of National Board together. Yes, but the content, like content-wise, it is very adaptable to your needs. And after you, first I give the word to Rayan because he also wants to say something about how he wants to do it.
Yeah, just in addition of what Stefan said, your training that you organize as a section, they also could be, National Board also can attend it and give a specific workshop that based on the needs that were in the first consultation as well.
Okay, so to give you a bit of a context, we actually have 2 training events. The other one is local boards meeting, but it usually would be conducted by our partners. So for example, Liot, our youth council. But another thing is that for the past 2 years, we haven't had any OC for the survival kit. And the same for LBM for this year. We didn't receive any basically OC applications for this event as well. And the problem is that these both events are kind of like on the months that go back to back. So basically, survival kit used to happen in December or in November. LBM happens in January, which is not convenient time for ESN Lithuania as we have exams and some people are leaving, let's say, for other international events or home for the winter break. So yeah, that's my comment.
Yes, so Veronica, ESN University, who will be approving the safety team training, and it will be approved only by the person organizing the training? And yeah, should I read next question? No. Okay.
Okay, so if you talk about the organizing part, the OC part, that's kind of the NB. NB can settle that however they want because this is not a big training. We are not talking about, okay, we invite 60 people to become safety team, but it's like, okay, 10 people are interested, let's do it. And this can also be online. That's also a thing. We have it in the documents. It can be online or physical, according to what is best for participants and NB. If you're talking about the content part, which could also be a bit, if I read the question, then it's like always with all trainings, the trainer does not have to have approval. The trainer is chosen according to qualifications and according to what the trainer is writing. Then the content of the training, it's up to the trainer. It's the same as with the local boards. You know, if you organize trainings for your members, then nobody approves it. Like, we don't do it. You know what you talk about, and that's basically, that's the system.
And Veronica. Veronica is in Willis University. Only people who went through training can be safety team. It goes like through all big events. For example, if you're organizing like parties by our sections or in collab, or only it goes to national events. Like, yes, understand?
Yes, I did understand. Thank you for the question. That's a very good one. So I will start with the state of right now. Right now, the safety team is only needed in the on a national level. However, we recommend it for you as well, because as I said, you're not legally safe if you don't have it, right? That said, for now, the safety team can only be someone professional with, I think we have to find 3 years of whatever studies, medicine, paramedics, whatsoever, or someone with a valid first aid certificate, right? What we forget with this system is that safety team is not only first aid, and usually our people, like our attendees, they are not 80, they don't get heart attack and anaphylaxis and whatever, right? They're usually younger people that are more likely to, for example, be drunk or be harassed or bully each other or whatever, right? So these are actually the needs and the content we need to prepare people for. So this extra training is an extra option on top of the stuff that we already have for you to be more able to basically become safety team. Now about the local part, there it gets a bit tricky. We organize this in a way that it is very suitable and very good for you in local level, right? Like you can attend and it will be amazing for you. However, as of right now, we do not have rules for you. We harshly recommend you to have the same rules that we have, because they are basically giving you a certain safety. However, in the end, if you organize some event and someone dies, it's you. You know, we will be standing somewhere else and we will be watching, and you will be in the court. So the reason is, that's the reason why we don't make it or can't even make it mandatory for you, because this is you. This is your event. That's basically it. But forever, like not forever. However, the things that you learn and the certificate that you get, of course, can be used for local level, and it's a good possibility for your members to just be qualified in a way.
Have 20 minutes of a coffee break. So please enjoy. Migle, you wanna say something? She just went away. Okay, thank you all. We are coming back after the coffee break. Right now we will do a little bit of a quorum check again because we have one section that arrived, I think, in between, before the coffee break. So we will check the quorum again to include you that you were present in the second part of Friday. So we have a next question that we prepared in the theme of Love Island. Villa gossip is spreading. What is your move? First answer. Gather everyone and spill the tea. Second, listen and not judge. Third one, run away before it explodes around you. So we will do a roll call through the sections through all of the sections to actually check if they are here. Let's start. ESN, ISM. Okay, thank you. First one. ESN, KK. ESN, KTU. Thank you. ESN, LSMU. Okay, ESN LSU didn't send the vote delegation. ESN MRU Vilnius. Thank you. ESN Vilnius Tech. Thank you. ESN VMU. Thank you. ESN Vilnius University. Okay. Where are our scrutinizers? Please say the outcome of the quorum check. Like how many sections are here and if we reach the quorum.
8 sections are here, we reach the quorum.
Thank you. So we can proceed with our plenaries. And now we move to section reports presented by Ugne. We have a presentation and later a question round will be opened.
And then we, yeah. Okay, so yeah, and LSU and KK have to are in improvement zone, so they have to send the section report as well. So the next slide. Yeah. So yeah, report submission. So this is about not only section reports but also budget reports. I'm happy how this year turned out for the treasurers. On the first semester, all of the treasurers turned their budget reports, so I'm really happy about that. So only 22% somewhere, some submitted, not all of them, and one of the sections did not submit anything basically. So yeah, next question. Slide, sorry. Next slide, yes. NA participation. So one section, two sections participated in one of them. So this means that three participants participated in the basically in their NA. Participated in all, so minimum requirement to have 3 delegates in the NA was reached. And then 11% participated in 3, so meaning probably extraordinary NA and some other 2 regular NAs. So yeah. And then participation in international events. So basically 32% of the sections participated in both EGM and NEP. Some participated only in NEP, one section participated only in EGM, and some of them, more than 40%, not participated in any events. So yeah. And legalization process, this is most crucial part of ESN Lithuania. So 2 sections are already legal. Other are actively participating in making the basically their section legal, or did not provide any info regarding their legalization, or they did not do it due to HR issues or other issues, let's say. Okay. So yeah, it's the same overall situation as the last year. Legalization process is not moving as so smoothly as intended. As I said, main problems, activeness of the section, so probably the section has some HR issues, or their IRO is stopping them of doing that. Sections tend to overlook the major details sent by NB, didn't check their ESN inbox. Sometimes they treat our email as like spam. Some sections did not even reply to their NB body, or even vice versa, aka the body is not active as they should be. However, this year sections are bit better on sending documents correctly on time, because last year we had an issue actually that sections would send the reports, but we did not have access and we could not check information in there. And I didn't say everything. And another point is that national level did not do too many calls for the sections this year, so that's why expressing their opinion, which is the point of expressing section's opinion, can be not look as trustable at some points. At least 1 call per semester should be the minimum, but we already have as a change in our documents. So yeah. And activities, so this is how we are doing with activities. So of course our main cause that is in our activities in ESN Lithuania is also culture, then education and youth, and healthful well-being. So yeah. And okay, that's it, but do not open the question round right now. I want the presidents of each section to stand here. You will see.
I don't want to be alone.
EVMU Vice President, please come.
So tight here.
So guys, thank you so much for your input on the last maybe 2 years, 1 year. However, we worked together because some national board members were for 2 years in the board. And as you know, in some of your offices, I saw you have certificates declaring that you're official member of ESN. So we have to renew that. So we will have, each of you will get a certificate of membership. So yeah, so VMU, ISM, Vilnius University, KK. Why is Iron not here? KTU, and LSU is not here. LSMU, where is LSMU? Yeah. And wait. Oh my god. Vilnius Tech. And MRU Vilnius. So thank you so much, and now we can proceed to the question round.
So we will wait a little bit until everybody settles down, but in the meanwhile, we are moving to the question round. So the question round is opened right now on Slido. You can go back to, what? You can go back to Slido on your phones and type in the questions. We will give you like 2-3 minutes to think about them and include them into the app. And please remember about stating your name, surname, and section, and the full question. Thank you.
Is the microphone working now? What do you mean more? I mean, we can do that. I can do the procedural then. Yeah. The QR code is not here. You can send the link
Wie
or
ankant?
the QR code in the announcement chat.
Ankant.
Still hasn't changed. It still hasn't changed. No, it's still not working. In this case, you can put up Slido as like the tab. Technical difficulties. I mean, yeah, they suggested to do more presentations today. I think it logged out somehow. should be working. Please check. I can.
Miglė Kučinskaitė, ESN Vilnius University. So you talked a lot about how sections participate, but have you thought of reasons why they are inactive or partially active, and how we can improve it, for example, next year?
Okay, so as I said in my presentation, it's due of the lack of the HR resources that they have. Of course, each section has their own, separate issue of HR issues. Maybe it's their structure that is inefficient in a way for their section, or it's just a lack of the motivation, let's say, or they have just people who are not like aligned with ESN values. Because usually if you are aligned with ESN values, you'll feel mostly motivated to work in this organization and stuff like that. However, of course, this has to be walked through with every single section. But as a national board, I would say that we are not the ones that will create you for like the recruitment process for every single section that you have. But we can be help, but we can suggest something, but we cannot do everything for them. However, we as a national board didn't think too much of this question actually. So, but as the next national board will be more fuller, I hope, you will be doing this way better, and especially that you have a VP who is responsible for the sections and possibly the support structures that you will have. So yeah.
If anybody is still typing the question? Okay, then thank you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nobody. Okay. We are closing. And now we move to another presentation by Ugne, our treasurer in Lithuania, GDPR in ESN. And this is just a presentation without Q&A.
Okay, so as you know, GDPR, well, as you're using the ESN Lithuania's workspace, you of course know that you're also responsible how you process the data in your sections as well. So, because at the end of the day, if you mess up with this, ESN Lithuania will get fines. So yeah, yeah. I mean, we have to be real about data and our personal data and the data that we collect from the students. So yeah, so GDPR 101 next. So it's not for the EU only, it's like applies to any entity processing of EU citizens regarding of their organization's location. IT only, responsibility shared. GDPR applies to all formats, including paper records and not just digital. So of course, majority of our records are digital. However, when we have elections, of course, we collect the signatures of our volunteers that have voting right. That is also applied for the GDPR. And of course, you signed the papers when you arrive to the plenaries. And another myth is consent only. Consent is only one option. Lawful processing can be based on contracts and legitimate interest. Next slide, please. So core terminology, we have data subject, data controller, and data processing, and DPA. A third-party company that's handling the data for the controller. So usually all data is stored on Google Forms, so it's Google. Controller entity, so let's say ESN Lithuania, deciding which data to process. And individual that you data collect about is the data subject. So volunteer, student, or your ESNer, let's say that. Or any other guess. And next. So rights of individual. So access, know what data is used, the purpose and retention periods. This has to be clarified when you're making forms. The last question should be about GDPR, and you should include how the data is processed and stuff like that. You also saw that in our forms. Certification, requests to corrections to inaccuracies and incomplete data. So they can request, sorry, that, this data is not as correct as it should be, and they can ask you to change it. And erasure is the right to be forgotten unless the legal retention is required. Regarding that, I will be talking about later, but it's mostly regarding the accounting. For example, when we do a national event in ESN Lithuania, of course, all the payments and invoices are processed through Pretix. After 7 days after the event, the data must be deleted, but only the invoices have to still be in our database because they still need, because tax incorporate or VME can ask us for the records in case the audit comes from the state. And yeah, and organizations must respond to the request within 1 month. So please be informed about that. And next. And members and events. So member data, can we keep ex-members data? Generally no, unless it's for accounting, as I said. Sharing with sponsors also only with explicit consent. So you have to know which data to share, or can you share the data? And of course you have to also delete the data when it's not being used anymore. And then photos, publications usually requires consent. You signed it before the plenaries. Group picture photos where individuals aren't the main focus are generally safer. So generally, members can still ask you to delete any photos when they are the only ones. As I said, the group photos are not the main focus, so generally it's safer. Next slide. For communication. Always use BCC field for any like mass sending of emails to not leak anyone's emails as well, and to protect the recipient's privacy. Security limit access to authorized personnel only. So in ESN Lithuania, generally, when you have in the sections, at least in my days when I was in local board, I was really strict who has the access to the forms. Usually the forms has to be created only under ESN Lithuania's email, and the editor can only be the ESN Lithuania's email, basically. No personal emails, basically. And yeah, ensure the confidentiality agreements are signed. And of course, to store ex-members' data separately for tax and legal purposes and delete permanently data afterwards. Let's say that. Yeah. And that's it. So yeah, and no question out for this. So yeah.
Okay, now we will move to introduction to body families. So, I will ask all of the body family leaders to come to the front to my desk. Could you please? Alexander, Egle, Ilya, Anastasia, and Daria. So, we have 5 body families. The first is for Alexander, the second one from Anastasia, right? Or Anastasia? It doesn't matter? Okay. Third one for Egle, then Daria, and Ilya in the fifth one. In a moment, I will copy-paste our distribution to the agenda. So each of you should find their name and surname in one of the body families. You should gather together with your body family leader for the feedback session. So we will not be doing like the whole room feedback sessions. You will have more private way of discussing stuff. We will confess to it from 20 to 30 minutes, so you can express your thoughts about today, what was working, what was not working, what you like, what you didn't like. But this today, Friday body family, will be more to get to know each other, if you don't know each other already. So like, you will say what you're doing in a section, what is your name, what you're doing in life, and then talk a little bit about our very short plenaries of today within your body families. The capacity is maximum 8 people in each. People that are excluded are people that are actually having some work to do during NA, so like OC, CT, NB, workshop holders. Yes, and that should be all. Because then tomorrow and the next day you will also feedback their job, so you should feel relaxed in a way of expressing your opinion to everybody. Yes?
In which form we sharing the feedback with national board or OC or?
We can share it in the WhatsApp group today, and from tomorrow we will see more like face-to-face because the plenaries will be much longer, so there'll be probably way more to be feedbacked, and today will be more to get to know each other and talk a little bit about today. Okay? So, give me like 1-2 minutes, I will copy-paste it, you see it, and then you as body family leaders, please choose like your place with your group, so you will not be interrupting each other. Okay? Thanks. Okay, it went much faster than I anticipated. Please, guys. It went much easier than I anticipated. I already copied the part to the agenda. Now you can see a new spreadsheet that is called body families. Please all check if your name and surname is there in any of the body families. If not, please tell me as soon as possible. Then I can add you to one of them. Okay, so now the body family leaders will gather you, so gather around your body family leader. Can you go one back with the slides? So these are your body family leaders, whatever, in whichever group you have. Gather around and you will have like 20, 30 minutes, talk along and get to know each other, mix and match, okay? And feedback session together. Thank you. Okay, we are done. Okay, so now we will have some closing remarks and afterwards OC announcements for tonight and probably also tomorrow breakfast, right? For closing remarks, one comment, first one. I know you're enjoying your buddy families very much, guys, but this is not the time to go for ice cream and this kind of stuff. You should either be talking or you come back to the room and go to the toilet or coffee break, but don't go around because we need to close the plenaries, okay? And for closing remarks about our plenaries, our votings went pretty well. You were all very responsive, and that's very nice from your side that you actually pay attention and respond straight ahead. For the presentations, we had 101 in GDPR in ESN in Lithuania, sections reports, so some comments on how sections of ESN Lithuania are doing, so maybe this is some part of the stuff that you can take back to your section, maybe to improve, maybe to talk in between of sections if some others are doing better than yours, to take some, for example, best practices or some advices from them. And about the proposed changes to status internal documents and Q&A round, it was nice you were active. We will repeat the Q&A round tomorrow because there's more people arriving first. Second, it would be very nice if you take your comments and your opinions back to your sections or discuss in between of yourselves on NA and prepare next questions for tomorrow. Like somewhere in between, you don't have to spend 1 hour on that, but it would be good just to refer back to people that are not here and having FOMO a lot, and people that are here and actually have some opinions about it. And we hope that you like buddy families, like a way of feedbacking. Today was maybe a little bit chaotic because we also arrived at the very last moment as a city. You were also coming in, so tomorrow will be more organized and more like chill from our side. And we will be continuing with the buddy families. I will just account more time for it. And right now, last announcements from our OC, from our head, Migle, about what will happen about social program and organizational stuff.
So, I hope you enjoyed the first day. Oh, okay. Yes, so I hope you enjoyed the first day of our plenaries. Serious stuff is almost over. Now we'll go back. We'll go to hotel, we'll have time to relax. Food and social program will happen in the beach. As you can all see, our beautiful getting together also resulted in sun in the sky. Even though Kubra yesterday wrote that it's super cold and everyone took sweaters instead of t-shirts. So yeah, everything will continue in the beach. About the time we will inform you a bit later. According to agenda, it starts at 7, but we want you to have some time to rewind, relax after a long trip from Vilnius or Kaunas or wherever you are coming from. So just keep an eye on the WhatsApp chat. We'll inform you about the exact time. And yeah, now we can just go after the day will be closed. We can just go back to the hotel and enjoy the rest of the night. For now, yes. Nothing changed.
So as Migle said, we are done for today. 30 minutes to spare as a buffer time, so we did pretty well for today. And let's continue for tomorrow and see you on the social program.